The air turned brittle the moment my wife's laughter cut through the room, sharp, clean, merciless. "Oh, I'd never marry him again," she said, voice light as glass, slicing open my chest in front of everyone we knew. Conversation froze. Forks hung midair. Wine glasses hovered. Eyes flicked between us like bystanders to a slow-motion car wreck. I forced a smile, the kind that stretches skin but not the soul, and raised my glass. "To bad decisions," I said, my voice steady though my insides trembled. Laughter trickled back, but her eyes never found mine. They hadn't in weeks. The dining room glowed under amber chandelier light, shadows flickering across half-eaten plates and crumpled napkins. The scent of roasted lamb and rosemary mingled with the sour tang of wine and tension. Tom, my best friend, clapped my shoulder. His grin was too wide. His cologne too heavy. "She's just teasing, man," he whispered, his hand lingering a second too long. I nodded, the taste of bile rising. Emma, my wife of 10 years, was already turned away, auburn hair catching the light as she leaned toward Sarah, whispering something private, smiling like nothing had happened. Her ease sliced deeper than her words. I'd noticed the signs for months, the late nights at the firm, her phone tilted out of sight, her perfume carrying a new undertone, unfamiliar and foreign. I told myself it was stress, deadlines, ambition, exhaustion. But doubt is a slow toxin. It seeps through your bloodstream until every breath feels contaminated. Tonight, her words weren't a joke. They were a flare, a signal I couldn't ignore anymore. While laughter filled the room, I excused myself, the floor creaking beneath each step. The hallway was dim, cooler, carrying the faint scent of old books from my study. My leather jacket hung on the rack, a relic from our early days. Road trips. Diners. Her head resting on my shoulder beneath endless skies. I reached for it, desperate for something familiar to anchor me, and froze when my fingers brushed paper. A crinkle that didn't belong. I pulled it out. A folded note. Worn soft from touch. My pulse spiked, adrenaline, confusion, dread. "Meet me at the usual spot. 10 p.m. Don't tell him." No name. Just ink and betrayal. The room spun. My knees gave. I caught myself on the wall, plaster cold under my palm. The note blurred in my shaking hand. My mind screamed her name, her voice, her lies. I shoved the note back into the jacket, heart pounding like it was trying to escape. I knew what it meant. I just needed proof, something my nervous system wouldn't reject as paranoia. Back in the living room, jazz hummed softly. Emma stood by the firelight, haloed by orange flame, laughter dripping from her lips. Tom stood beside her, too close. His hand brushed her arm. Her eyes softened. My stomach coiled tight. Tom, my best friend. My best man. His wedding toast still echoed in my head, to loyalty. To love. Was that a lie too? I didn't confront her. Not with friends around. Not with my dignity hanging by a thread. So I played host. Poured drinks. Told jokes. Smiled through the nausea. But my gaze kept finding that jacket, its pocket burning in my mind like an ember I couldn't smother. That night, after everyone left, I made a decision. The next evening, Emma said she had another late meeting. Her tone light. Her kiss quick, like muscle memory without meaning. I nodded, pretending not to notice the tremor in my own hands as I watched her leave. Her heels echoed against the floor, a countdown. I waited 10 minutes, then grabbed my jacket and keys. The note still sat inside, heavier than lead. The usual spot, a quiet cafe on the edge of town. One we used to go to when life was still easy. The irony sliced deep. Rain pattered on the windshield as I parked across the street. The cafe was nearly empty, its neon sign flickering. Then she appeared. Emma. She didn't go inside. She walked straight to the bench beneath the street lamp, where someone was already waiting. Tom. For a long moment, they didn't touch. Just sat close, their heads bowed in intimate silence. Then his hand found hers. She didn't pull away. The cortisol hit was instant. My throat went dry, heartbeat chaotic. Rain blurred them into ghosts. I wanted to scream, to run, to tear the moment apart. But I just sat there, paralyzed. Watching. When I finally drove home, my hands were numb. The note was crumpled in my fist. The house was too still. The kind of silence that vibrates through your bones. I sat at the kitchen table. The jacket hung beside me like a witness. When Emma came home an hour later, she hesitated in the doorway. Her smile faltered when she saw me. "What's wrong?" she asked, too carefully. I held up the note. Her face drained. "Where did you find that?" she whispered. "In my jacket," I said. "The one you borrowed." She sank into a chair, trembling. "It's not what you think," she said, voice cracking. "Then what is it?" I asked. "Why are you meeting Tom? Why joke about never marrying me again?" Her eyes filled, but she didn't cry. "I didn't mean that," she said softly. The joke was stupid. And Tom, he was there. We've been struggling, and you felt so far away. It wasn't physical. Just emotional. Emotional, I repeated, the word sour in my mouth. You think that makes it better? That giving him what used to be mine hurts less? She reached out, but I pulled back, the distance between us now an abyss. "I love you," she said, voice breaking. I didn't know how to fix us. I stood. The note slipped from my hand and drifted to the floor. "You didn't try," I said quietly. "You chose him." Her sob followed me down the hall, raw and trembling, echoing through my ribcage, but I didn't stop. I stepped into the rain, into the night where the truth could finally breathe. And if you've ever stood in that kind of storm, when your chest feels split between fury and grief, you know what I mean. Don't miss stories like this. Subscribe, stay with us, because sometimes, the truth we can't face is the one that frees us.